Kylian Mbappe. Listen, I'm not singing Rameza la coupe à la maison, allez le bleu, allez, even though that is a banger and I feel like I could start raving in here. But we need to speak about Kylian Mbappe because he's leaving Paris Saint-Germain. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Sani-That sports guy talking all things sport. And of course, today we're speaking football. We're going to France because we're speaking about Kylian Mbappe because, as we know, he's actually said to PSG that he's not going to be there next season. You could actually say it's probably the worst kept secret in football, the fact that Kylian Mbappe is flirting with the idea of leaving Paris Saint-Germain. We all know what happened last season, but this season looks like it's probably going to happen. Last season, as we know, there was that standoff with PSG. He was exiled from the squad that went on pre-season to Asia, and there were many teams interested in him, including Saudi Arabia. But eventually, he agreed to a contract extension of 2 years with a potential 1 year. But as we are coming to the end of those 2 years, what we are seeing now is Kylian Mbappe looking for a move elsewhere. There's only one club on my mind and one club in his mind that he should be going to, and that is the Arsenal. Nah, I'm only joking. Of course it's not the Arsenal. Sorry, Arsenal fans. Although, yes, you're thinking of, yeah, we've got the new Henry at our club. It's not going to happen because there's only one club in this world that's the biggest fish. And when the big fish is there in a little pond, they will kick out all the little fishes, and that is Real Madrid. The biggest club in the world will be signing Kylian Mbappe for next season, and that is going to be a tantalising prospect, especially with the players that they already have right now to fill an absolutely stacked XI. You could argue that Real Madrid have the new Galacticos, but of course PSG were once that team that were looking to deploy the Galactico policy that Real Madrid famously had in the early 2000s. They had the likes of Messi, Neymar, Mbappe. But it didn't really work out. You could somewhat argue Kylian Mbappe has had success at Paris Saint-Germain. He's of course won 5 league titles. He's got 243 goals and 93 assists in 290 games. But the holy grail, of course, is the Champions League. That, of course, is the biggest trophy in club football. Yeah, of course, Kylian Mbappe's got a World Cup, which, for me anyway, is the pinnacle when it comes to football. But for club football, of course, is the Champions League. And him going to Real Madrid, the true kings of the competition, ironically with their name being Real, does mean that he could fulfill that destiny of his for becoming one of the greatest players of all time by having that Champions League. Now, of course, it goes without saying there are great players who didn't actually win the European Cup, but are still heralded as greats, R9 being one of them. Kylian Mbappe is in that mould as well, in terms of the ferocity, the velocity, the imperious ability that he has. But going to a club like Real Madrid will actually mean that he has that status as well, that legendary status, you could argue. Some of the greatest names in football have actually played at Real Madrid. They are the biggest club in the world for a reason, and nobody would question Kylian Mbappe for saying no to them. Yeah, of course, Florentino Perez and Real Madrid do need to look at the finances, because if they were to sign him, that would be a significant chunk of their budget for next season. But who could say no to him? You got Mikel Arteta at Arsenal in the press speaking about the value that Mbappe would bring to any team in the world. And he's right in that. He would be the fulcrum for any attack in the world. He'd be the most prized asset. But at Real Madrid, he'd have the pieces around him for him to become one of the best players in the world, if he isn't already right now. The biggest issue when it comes to Kylian Mbappe is the fact that he plays in the French league. But when he goes to La Liga, not only will he be up against Barcelona, Atletico de Madrid, he'll also be up against some of the great teams in the European Cup competition, and he'll actually have a good chance of winning it as well. He'll be the biggest face that runs the place. And the irony is, this has been a long time coming. Yeah, we can speak about a couple of seasons ago how Real Madrid actually offered 180 million euros to sign Mbappe. The reason it actually didn't happen was the fact that he wasn't guaranteed playing time and he wasn't guaranteed to being one of the highest earners at the club. But right now, his resume speaks for itself. He's achieved many great things. He's easily one of the best players in the world right now. But he wants to become the best. He wants the Ballon d'Or. He wants the trophies. He wants the recognition. And at Real Madrid, he can achieve that. 14 years ago, before his trial at Real Madrid, on the eve of his birthday, he was actually greeted by Zizou at the airport. It goes without saying, Zinedine Zidane is one of the greatest players of all time. The fact that he was French makes it even more amazing for Mbappe. He was greeted by Zizou. What then happened after that was even more amazing. His idol, Cristiano Ronaldo, met him at the training complex. He must have felt even then that it was in his destiny to one day play at Real Madrid and follow in the footsteps of his idol, Cristiano Ronaldo. Now you're thinking, what do you mean by his footsteps? If you look at Ronaldo's trajectory when he actually rose through the ranks at Man United and eventually got his move to Real Madrid, there were many seasons previously where there was many toutings of him potentially going to Real Madrid. The season Man United actually won the double 2007-8 season, it was very, very heavily considered that he would be joining Real Madrid. But what did Fergie say to Ronaldo? You have one more season with us and I won't stop you going to Real Madrid. I think now is the case with PSG where they got those extensions with Mbappe and now they've kind of said to him, We accept your decision to actually go to Real Madrid and fulfill your destiny. Time was perfect for Ronaldo to join Real Madrid then. And I think the timing's perfect for Mbappe right now. If you don't think he's peaked already, you'll be seeing his peak at Real Madrid. It's tailor-made for him to be an absolute stud at Real Madrid. Ronaldo, as we know, became an immortal at Real Madrid. 450 goals, Ballon d'Ors galore, Champions Leagues galore as well. And that's exactly what Mbappe wants to achieve as well. Don't get me wrong, as a football fan, you want to dream about the best being at your club. I'd love Manchester United to sign Mbappe. But we need to have some realism here. And Arsenal fans need to have that as well. His wages exceed any of our wage bills. And yeah, you might be saying it's hypocritical, especially when I say when it comes to Mbappe, you need to break the bank. But why disrupt the projects you're building at the Arsenal and Manchester United for one player that arguably will always have one eye at joining Real Madrid? Because they are that. They are the biggest fish in the world, the biggest club in the world. If they come knocking, it's extremely hard for you to say no. Shout out Alessandro Del Piero. But when he does eventually go to Real Madrid, he will become that player that he's always wanted to be, and become that legend of football that he's always aspired to be. And we'll be watching it with many, many glee. Because when you see the best players playing in the best teams on the grandest stage of them all, you get such a smile and joy as a football fan. That's hard for you not to be invested. Because in the words of Optimus Prime, we are here and we are waiting. Thank you very much for watching, guys. I really appreciate it. I mean, it is an obvious one. Kylian Mbappe is probably going to go to Real Madrid, but what it actually means for him and what it means for football, I think is great. And who knows, maybe in a couple of seasons, we might see that eventual Mbappe-Haaland rivalry if Barcelona decide to pull the plug and sign Haaland, which could be an option in the future seasons. Right now, it doesn't really look likely, especially with finances and how Man City are doing. But one day it could happen. But of course, Kylian Mbappe to Real Madrid, it does look likely. But I want to hear your thoughts on the whole transfer saga, and do you think it will be a success for him at Real Madrid? But as always, thank you very much for watching. Make sure to smash a like if you haven't already done so. Comment your thoughts on the whole Mbappe to Real Madrid, Mbappe leaving PSG as well. Do you actually think he was a success at PSG as well? Subscribe to the channel if you are new. Share with your friends and family. And as always, until next time, peace.